I am Mira Gold, and I'll be your guide on this AI journey into Sudowrite's Story Engine session on hacks, tips, and tricks. As we embark on this thrilling journey, I warmly invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's an incredible community of creatives just like you, and your subscription means you'll always be up to date on sessions like this. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Welcome, dear explorers, to our journey through the arcane art of storytelling. Today, we'll plunge into the mists of imagination, guided by the luminary power of Sudowrite's Story Engine. We'll be unraveling the threads of genre, subgenre, tropes, themes, and the profound impact they can weave on your narrative tapestry. Remember, every good tale is a labyrinth. Choose your path wisely. Use your tools with skill. Let your heart lead you, and above all, dare to experiment. In our odyssey of the mind, the first step is always the most chilling and terrifying: the creation of an original horror synopsis. But fear not, for armed with the right tools, a strong prompt, and a clear vision, you will be able to master the craft and give birth to a story of chills and thrills, a narrative imbued with terror and trembling. So, join me on a journey into the world of human-created prompting and AI generation. As we venture into the catacombs of creativity, we first encounter the concept of genre. Like an echo in the dark, it resonates with a familiar tone, telling us what to anticipate, how to feel, and what rules govern the shadowy world we're about to enter. Deeper into the catacombs, we stumble upon the alcove of subgenre. Here, the echo becomes a whisper, a more specific clue hinting at what variations, what twists and turns our journey may hold. Further along our path, we cross the bridge of tropes. These are the signposts that guide us through the narrative labyrinth. They are the specters we recognize, giving us both comfort and terror in their familiar domain. We now approach the heart of the labyrinth, the chamber of themes. This is the throbbing pulse beneath our story, the echoing drumbeat that gives our narrative its depth, its meaning, and its resonance. As we journey through the labyrinth, each element, genre, subgenre, tropes, themes, casts its own shadow on our story. They shape it, mold it, give it form and substance. They are the architects of our narrative, the builders of our world. Tropes, when used wisely, can guide your readers through the winding paths of your story. They provide a familiar landscape, and if skillfully subverted, they can surprise and shock, adding an electrifying twist to your narrative. Themes provide the spectral glow that illuminates your narrative. They give depth to the shadows and weight to the whispers, and they invite your readers to ponder, to question, to fill. So, as we embark on this journey of creation, let us remember the lessons learned from these spectral guides. Genre, subgenre, tropes, and themes. Let them guide us, inspire us, and help us shape our narrative. And let us remember, in this realm of imagination, tropes are not our enemy, but our guides. They are tools to be wielded with skill and precision, not feared or shunned. Deep in the heart of the labyrinth lies our theme, the echoing drumbeat that gives our story its rhythm and resonance. It's the soul of our narrative, the question we want to ask, the statement we want to make. Always remember, fellow creatives, to keep a torch lit to the wisdom of others who have tread these shadowy paths before us. Research and read. See how they navigated the labyrinth, how they weaved together their tales, how they used their tools to create suspense, intrigue, and terror. As you carve out your own path, remember to do so with authenticity and passion. Let your heart bleed into the pages. Let your fears shape your narrative. For only when we write with passion do we truly resonate with our readers. This realm of ours is vast, full of unseen corners and uncanny bends. Don't be afraid to venture off the beaten path, to experiment with the untried and the strange. It is often in these dark corners that we find our most chilling tales. Remember, my fellow creatives, no author is an island. Share your creations, invite others to journey through your labyrinth. Their perspective, their insights can help you hone your craft, refine your narrative, and ensure your tale truly terrifies. Keep in mind, the labyrinth of storytelling is as much a journey as it is a destination. Enjoy the process, savor each twist and turn, and never stop learning, for the craft of storytelling is an eternal journey, and there's always so much more to explore. Now, let us step into the shadows of understanding. Let us dissect the dark heart of our tale with the scalpel of clarity. What, might you ask, is a premise? And how does it differ from a synopsis? In the hollowed halls of fiction, the premise is your map, your guiding star. It's the beating heart of your narrative, a concise statement that reveals the main characters, their conflicts, and the setting. It's the skeletal frame upon which the flesh of your story will grow. The synopsis, on the other hand, is the full body of your tale, complete with all its twists, turns, and terrors. It dives deep into the character struggles, explores their relationships, and unveils the climatic confrontations. It's the path through the labyrinth, the full journey your reader will embark upon. In essence, both the premise and the synopsis serve to illuminate the shadows of your narrative. The premise offers a glimmering overview, while the synopsis lights the way through the entire story, revealing every dark corner, every chilling twist, every heart-stopping climax. Now, armed with this newfound knowledge, are you ready to step into the unknown, to carve your path through the labyrinth of storytelling? Let's venture forth, my brave explorers. The journey awaits. This content right here, this is what we're going to use for our prompt. Remember, we have all those elements. We're even requesting for Story Engine, for the AI, to give us tropes and themes that may tie into, our horror stories. So let's go to Story Engine. Now, if you are new to Story Engine, one of the first areas that you're going to want to go ahead and fill out is going to be your Story Engine brain dump. So let's go ahead and paste that content in there. You'll notice that I have nothing in the genre or the style box. My synopsis is empty. My characters is empty. My card for outline and my chapter 1 beats and prose are also empty. So we are starting from scratch with Braindump. Now, armed with the Lester Dent mystery template, I'm fixing to press generate, and in response, once I hit that generate button over here under synopsis, the Story Engine system is going to kind of churn and rumble, and it's going to create the foundation of our horror narrative. So let's take a look and see what Story Engine creates. Okay, so it gave us a title as we asked it to. It gave us a series name, which is Blood Moon Trilogy. It gave us the book premise for book 1, 2, and 3. Now, if you're an author who needs more than 12 chapters, this is a really interesting way to be able to take it and increase your chapters to, 24, and beyond by maybe breaking up your story this way and being able to come back with book 2, which could be the middle third of your novel, and book 3 could actually be the last third of your novel. Or if you're writing novellas, you could use these areas as breaks for a novella series. One thing that I do want to impart is that the other day I was speaking with one of the developers, and I understand that at some point Story Engine is going to open up the ability for an author to pick more chapters. So that means that instead of the standard 12 chapters that we can generate today, we may be able to generate anywhere from 20 to 30 chapters. So I'm really looking forward to that. Now, again, of course, further on into the process, the authors can always pull in their own content and plug it into the outline. Today, in this session, we're only going to focus on the brain dump and the synopsis. So we already know that it has generated our title, our series name. We have the premise for book 1, book 2, and book 3 as I requested within the brain dump. Here's our ensemble cast. So it gave us something very bare boned on our cast. But what it did do is it let us know that Jack is the leader, Tyler is the joker of the group, we know that Nate is the muscle, Emily is the brains, and Rachel is the antagonist. It actually made one of the girls the antagonist, and she's manipulative and cunning. But she's also deeply damaged. So that's kind of interesting. So it also gave us a setting. So we know that some of the settings that the story can take place or will take place is in the dark and foreboding woods that surround Willow Creek. And we all know that AI loves the word willow. So you will find towns named Willow. You will find bodies of water named Willow. You will find willow all over the place. So always take the liberty to make changes when and where you see fit. So if you don't want to use Willow Creek, change that. Let's see, there's a small town. There's an abandoned church. There's an old mine. There's a rundown motel. So let's take a look at our tropes. So the final girl, Emily is the most likely candidate to survive until the end. Okay, that's kind of cool. Not only did it give us the tropes, but it also let us know what character is being impacted by the trope. So the jump scares, the supernatural force that haunts the survivors, is fond of sudden appearances. So that's interesting. There's a creepy cult. Well, can't have a horror story without some creepy cult. We have our red herrings, which several characters are introduced as possible suspects. Those red herrings kind of twist things around, and it makes you wonder, well, who is it? Was it the, let's see, let's look at our girls and guys again. So is it Jack? Is it Tyler? Is it Nate, Emily, Rachel? So the red herrings kind of embed that little bit of confusion so that it keeps the reader at the edge of his or her seat. So again, taking a look, we have all of our themes. We have our tropes. Under our themes, we have friendship, betrayal, revenge, loss, faith, isolation. Isolation is a really good one for horror also because it kind of ups the tension. So I kind of feel like this is pretty spot on and pretty good for a synopsis, especially something that we can flesh out. And sometimes you will find that when you're creating a story from scratch in Story Engine, sometimes less is more. Now, could we take some of this content, rewrite it, and then plug it back into the Braindump and ask it to write another synopsis? You betcha. Now, the other thing that you could do is you could come right here and you could actually rewrite the synopsis. You could ask Story Engine to make changes. Maybe I don't want the antagonist to be Rachel. Maybe I want the antagonist to be Tyler. So I could change things around. Maybe I want them to find a cave. So any changes that I would like to make to my story to add more twists or turns or up that horror, feel to it, I could do that right here inside of the rewrite synopsis. Now, keep in mind, anytime that you use that rewrite tool, it's going to eat up additional words, which will count against your word pack. Also, another thing to point out, up here you have a word count, so your synopsis can only hold 800 words. Right now we're at 715. So keep that in mind as well. We also have a word limit here for our Braindump. So if you are bringing in your own synopsis or your own story information and you want to run it through the Story Engine system, then you could put in up to 2,000 words into the Braindump. You could put lore, you could put additional information about your characters, you could put information about maybe there's a curse on, the forest. You could put all that information inside of your Braindump and then generate a synopsis. Now, armed with the Lester Dent mystery template, we're able to further break this down. So let's take a look at what it did with the template. So I use the Lester Dent template, but you could use the Snyder beat sheet. You could devise your own as long as you give an example of it within the Braindump. You can direct the AI. So again, think of the AI as, a tool that you're using to research or to request information. Don't be bashful. Don't be shy. Write out exactly what it is that you're looking for or what you need the AI to generate for you. So here under the Lester Dent beats that are, essential to the story, we have a statement that says to introduce the characters. We have established the stakes, set up the red herrings, add a plot twist. We have increased the conflict, add a cliffhanger, resolve the cliffhanger, and to tie up loose ends. These are all key areas that we want to be able to focus on. That concludes today's module on just the Story Engine's synopsis creation. Within Story Engine, the only two areas that I utilized today was the Braindump and the synopsis for generation. So I'm going to hover over synopsis, the little question mark. When you're in doubt, you can see how it works. Synopsis establishes the characters, their goals, the central conflict, how the story begins, and how it ends. It conveys the story's tone, themes, and unique elements. This section is generated based on information only found in the Braindump. If you go and hover over the question mark for Braindump, Braindump is a completely free-form box. You can put everything you know about your story. You can put in a stream of consciousness. You can ramble. You can put in a treatment. You can put in, a basic chapter outline or even a couple of words. So this section will impact the synopsis and your story beats. All right, that wraps up this episode on Sudowrite Story Engine Braindump and Synopsis Generation. I hope you found this tutorial helpful and that it's given you some great insight into maximizing the potential of this amazing tool. Next up in our Sudowrite Story Engine Hacks, Tips, and Tricks playlist, we'll be diving even deeper, so make sure you don't miss it. The best way to stay updated, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to get notified as soon as the next video drops. Don't forget to join our AI Writers Connection community over on Discord. You'll find the link in the description below. It's a fantastic space for us to share our experiences, ideas, and help each other grow as writers in the AI era. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow writers. Your support really makes a difference. Once again, I'm Mira Gold, and I want to thank you for being a part of this journey with me. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, keep writing, keep learning, and keep pushing those boundaries. Bye for now.